Steph Curry did not. He hit 4 triples. No Durant. Draymond, he's okay. He's playing, and he finds Steph Curry for 3.
Spin around and take a 3.
I've always been meaning to ask you, do you know the way to San Jose?
No, I don't.
Oh.
What's the way?
Well, I don't know. The Lakers and Warriors figured it out, and a whole bunch of fans up there in California watching these two. Look at them showing off. Damian Jones on the receiving end from the Curry alley-oop. Curry, another screen, and yeah, he's right. 16 points for Curry.
No dribbles.
In the first quarter.
Not at all. Just catch and shoots. Okay.
Look at Riley.
Showing a little dance move. Wait a second. JaVale McGee shooting a 3.
He's had one of those in his entire NBA career. That came way back in 2013 when he was playing for the Nuggets. A 3-pointer for the new stretch 5 of the Lakers. Klay Thompson, he shoots 3s.
Yeah, these guys really shoot 3s. Just love the way they play. Ball is moved around quickly.
Klay had 21 points. What happens here? Ooh. Now, they were joking around before the game, Draymond and LeBron. Here, Michael Beasley, he's not kidding around. It's right into it with Draymond Green. Beasley give it a tech. Moments later, Beasley walks back. Beasley and Draymond receive a second technical. Michael Beasley, he's got it.
Real quick.
Lance Stevenson and Quinn Cook fouls him. Now, Steve Kerr has said he is excited for the energy in the gym when these two get together 4 times a year. This is starting here in San Jose.
Yeah, it is. You can see Cook not backing down, and Lance is early to the showers.
Right, and again, these Lakers team, and Riley's
still getting it in.
Yeah. Extra points for the Warriors on that one.
It's going to be good when they play in the regular season. It's going to be very good.
So for what it's worth, the Lakers wrap
Christmas Day.
Can't wait for that one. The team, by the way, that had the MVP and won the most games in the NBA last season, the Houston Rockets, they played all their guys on Friday night against Memphis, and Carmelo Anthony. Look at this. Coming off. Melo, corner 3.
James.
Remember, this team hit 28 threes in their previous preseason game.
28? That's a lot of 3. Let Melo. Okay, Melo's looking comfortable. Now, this is ridiculous. Okay, CP3, it's just preseason. Easy against my Spartan, Jaren Jackson Jr. Nothing you can do to keep a hand up.
You can't get any closer to him.
No, not at all.
Mike Conley.
So happy to see Mike Conley back.
He had 15 for the Grizz. He could stay healthy, and Gasol could stay healthy, get something from Chandler Parsons. This team, maybe they make some noise. Maybe they challenge the end of that Western Conference playoff race.
Okay, Jaren Jackson playing bully ball against Melo.
So good and so efficient, too. Jaren Jackson, 18.7.
Cool.
He looks very confident out there on the court.
Yeah, he's comfortable with the basketball. And this kid is very comfortable, James Harden.
Yeah, he had 23 points for the Rockets as they go on the road. And look at this. Rockets open up Wednesday against the Pelicans, and the Grizz have the Pacers. Have the Mavs found another international star? Highlights from Mavs Hornets and a discussion about the Doncic hype machine next on Game Time. How each of the first-year players are performing. Over the next few minutes, we're going to show you several of the top 10 picks from the 2018 NBA draft. Starting with number 3, Luka Doncic. Got the Dallas Mavs home for the Hornets, and here comes Doncic. The steal, put it up top, and Dennis Smith Jr. Look at the connection.
This combination is exciting to see. You have both guys he can handle, and obviously you have one as a super high flyer. Look at that, Malik Monk knocking that one down?
Yeah. Guy who certainly wants more playing time this year. And by the way, watching Malik Monk some Monks in Dallas.
Okay.
Coincidence? I think not. More from Monk, the crossover. And then Willie Hernandez-Gomez, the layup. They're expecting big things out of him, the former New York Knickerbocker. Monk had 8 points and 5 assists.
Okay, Doncic with a nice step back. It's a pretty good move. It's not quick, but he's deceptive, and he has some skills.
Right.
Separation, that's all you need, no matter how you get it.
Right, you know he can play make, but creating for himself, right, as well, that's going to be watched. Defenders much better here than over in Europe.
Nice move, nice cut. He's showing a little athleticism.
Now back to Charlotte here. Oh, but Doncic, the steal. Turns it into some offense. Worried about his defense too, right? So far, so good.
So far, so good. He's comfortable. You can see right here. Great feel, great vision. Looked the defensive off with his eyes, and then it made a perfect pass.
By the way, DeAndre Jordan asked on Friday night what he brings to the Mavs that they were missing. A sense of style, fashion. Charlotte got it going a bit. Miles Bridges.
Nice three. We get comfortable, Sparty.
13 points, 7 rebounds for him. Charlotte goes on the road to win, but the story here is the performance of Luka Doncic, who, after committing 4 turnovers in each of his first 3 preseason games, Doncic just 1 miscue in 31 minutes on Friday. So, Smitty, the number 3 pick heads into the regular season, averaging about 15 points, 3.5 assists, making 10 of 23 from 3 during 4 preseason games.
Well, I love what Coach Carlisle is doing. He's just letting him play to his strengths. He's not saying, hey, we're going to have you at a certain position. They are just playing free range basketball. And it's not something where it's not styled the way where they're just going out and playing loosey-goosey. His feel. Is he a point guard? Is he a small forward? He's a basketball player. So is Dennis Smith Jr. And both those guys together, people have been asking who's the point guard, who's not, who's going to be the number 1 guy. You just go play basketball, and you have 2 unselfish guys who know how to play. And if you're playing to win, it will work out. And so far, so good for those 2 youngsters.
All right, got some news out of Miami tonight. A report says that the Heat have agreed to a 3-year extension with Justice Winslow, who's often been talked about as a guy maybe the Heat are dangling out there in trade talks, or maybe one that they were protecting, wanting to hang on to, a former first-round pick back a couple of years ago. Had the Heat not gotten a deal done with Winslow prior to Monday, they would have had to wait until the end of the season to negotiate, at which time Winslow would have become a restricted free agent. We got the Heat and the Hawks wrapping up the preseason, and Jeremy Lin, wrong shorts.
It's okay.
We see that from the Charlotte Hornets the other day. Somebody forgot to wear their jersey. Jeremy Lin, new year.
Gotta change.
Gotta get the right shorts on there. Lin and the Hawks in Miami take on the Heat, and oh, there's Jeremy Lin.
Right shorts. He's playing well with the right shorts.
Lin, 20 points, 7 of 10 from the field. Dwayne Wade playing.
Okay, Dwayne Wade getting a little rust knocked off, and there's Trae Young.
That looked like the game winner he had the other night.
Well, the game winner was a little deeper.
Now pass, Kent Bazemore.
That's what you got to watch. You see his passing with either hand and his vision. The kid is a basketball player who loves to play and plays with a lot of confidence. He's going to be okay.
Played just 16 minutes, Trae Young did, scored 11 points and 5 assists. Hassan Whiteside, curious to see what his role will be with the Heat, how often he'll play in big moments of games this year. Or Spoelstra often put him on the bench last year. Josh Richardson, he's also been one that many believe Minnesota wants back in return as part of the package for Jimmy Butler. Richardson, 24 points.
Yeah, so he can do it on both ends. You can see his scoring is up, being able to knock down shots. He plays extremely hard on the defensive end. He's a nightmare, so the Heat are looking to reap the rewards from having this young guy.
Look where we're going to.
Sparty, the Breslin. The house I built.
That's right, and Blake Griffin trying to tear it down there. Watch the rims. They're expensive.
Easy, Blake.
Got Detroit taking on Cleveland, where the East apparently runs through.
Was that Channing Frye?
That
okay,
is
Channing with the left.
Put it on the highlight reel for the year. Blake Griffin.
Nice move.
Yeah, this guy. He can score, we know that. Dwayne Casey wants him to be a passer, wants him to be a facilitator, a guy that can get the ball and do a whole lot with it. Blake, 11 of 17 from the field, 29 points.
Ooh, he is going at the front line of the Cavs.
Are you okay if Blake leads the team in assists rather than a Reggie Jackson?
No, I mean, I like him being able to pass, but I think ultimately you got to have a Reggie Jackson leading this team in assists, you know, because Reggie Jackson's guy's going to have his hands with the basketball, should be more than Blake.
All right, that was Andre Drummond from Stanley Johnson. Drummond, 21 points, 15 rebounds. We also saw a highlight there from Colin Sexton for the Cavs, the 8th pick in the draft. Sexton had 8 points on 4 of 10 shooting for Cleveland. Spurs and Magic and another high draft pick. We've got Mo Bamba in action for the Orlando Magic, taking on the Spurs. And Mo, got the Bamba there.
That was too easy. Okay. Not a lot of defense right now from the Spurs in this preseason game.
And where's the offense coming from? Well, here, LaMarcus Aldridge, Patty.
The ball's going to move with the Spurs no matter what.
Running the two-man game. Now Aldridge again, working on Jonathan Isaac.
Ooh, way to take the young fellow to school right in that paint.
DeMar DeRozan. That's what he's going to do, attack, right?
He can attack.
Interesting to see how DeRozan and Aldridge learned to share the ball where they like to work. And on the final night of the preseason, DeRozan leads the team with 20. LaMarcus had 13. But man, as we talked earlier, just injuries continue to devastate the San Antonio Spurs. Well, the Bucks, they can avoid injury. Feel they can go pretty deep in the Eastern Conference this year. More from Giannis Antetokounmpo's triple-double Friday night in Milwaukee.
Disapprove of it, or are you just ignoring it, or how are you dealing with this?
Just like I said, we're just happy that we get to play basketball tonight here in Milwaukee. Get a chance to come out here and play for the first time in a while.
Are you guys getting tired of having to answer questions about this? I mean, the look says it all right now.
I mean, are you tired of hearing me say I want to play basketball today here in Milwaukee? So you let me know.
Will you be happy to pick up a basketball if Jimmy Butler is still on this team Wednesday night?
I'm happy to play basketball with anybody.
That's the challenge of the NBA. And, you know, every team is going to go through something at some point of the season. For us, it's early on, and the challenge is not to get distracted, to get ready for the season. That's the most important thing. This isn't an individual sport, it's a team sport. And that's what we have to focus on.
What kind of advice do you give your team to get through this with all this attention?
Don't get, you know, like in the NBA, you can get distracted very easily. Every day there's something. So understand what's important, get ready to play, understand what goes into winning, and you focus on the guys that are here.
If Jimmy does come back and there's no deal made and he's playing with you guys, are you worried that more incidents like that might happen and be a distraction to the team?
As I said, some of what reported was correct, some was not. So in every practice there could be something. And the important thing is not to get sidetracked and to focus on what you need to do as a team.
Well, how would they play Friday night? Those were the comments from both Karl Anthony Towns and Tom Thibodeau after Friday's shootout in Milwaukee. Obviously, no Jimmy Butler. Here's the final tune-up. And by the way, Giannis Antetokounmpo is ready for this season, if anybody was wondering. We'll get to the Jimmy Butler saga in a moment, but how about Giannis, Smitty?
Well, we've seen these type of plays, but he's able to take and absorb more contact, and he's so confident right now in his abilities. As you can see, he is running over guys. He's gotten super strong, Jared, and he's showing us the jump shot that he's developed over the summer.
There wasn't much defense, and Giannis doing a little bit of everything. Quick ball movement from Mike Budenholzer. We'll see more of that.
You will see. Won't be a lot of dribbling. This guy will get a chance to do whatever he wants, but this is what we're getting accustomed to seeing. These are over guys, and he's just dunked by Giannis. I mean, he is, like you said, and he's ready for the regular season. And the Wolves, they're not.
Monster line from Giannis Antetokounmpo, gets the triple-double. He does it in 25 minutes of action, shooting 13 of 17 from the field. And listen, not a great number from three, but they'll take it 2 of 5 as Giannis gets more proactive with the long ball, and that'll be a deadly weapon for him. Third game of the preseason, the Timberwolves have allowed the opponent to score 125 points or more. This one was 143. Get it to preseason. Let's get back to the Jimmy Butler story here as we visit with Steve Smith, Jared Greenberg. So Tibbs, as we heard him talk Friday morning, doesn't want this situation to be a distraction. So Smitty, unless Tibbs himself announces that Butler won't return at any point until this all gets resolved, there will be a daily uncertainty about Jimmy Butler's status for practice and for games. How can it possibly not be a distraction?
Well, he's doing the right thing, trying to have his young guys and his organization try to get on the same page and try to deflect things. But, Jared, let's face it, it's a distraction because we're not talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves, their talent, and whether they need to improve, what their strengths, how do they look going into the regular season. All that's been not even on the back burner, on the back burner. We're talking about the distractions, dysfunction. Will he get traded? When will he get traded? Who is allowed to trade him? Who can I talk to you, Jared? Can I talk to other guys? It's so much other things than basketball. It's a distraction and will be a distraction until they come to some kind of resolution, whether that's Jimmy Butler just playing it out or Jimmy Butler not playing. Once they make that decision, like you said, it's going to have to come from upper management and ownership now because Glenn Taylor has injected himself into making decisions, and he rightfully so, he's the owner.
Sure.
But that wasn't the way it was set up before the season start. But right now we have a lot to talk about, and it's A lot of it is off the court with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
A lot of people weighing in, and as you know, people like to take sides. I'm going to say, regardless here of whose side you might be on, whether it be the owners, the president, who happens to be the head coach, the player, whether you think one or all of them are wrong, how does Butler, how he's handled this, couldn't the team president looked at this in trade talks and said, listen, Minnesota, we're now in trouble. And as people look at Jimmy Butler, they're going to say, well, do I want Jimmy Butler? Do I want to offer Tom Thibodeau a whole lot to get him after the antics he's pulled? Do I want to offer Jimmy Butler a max contract next summer with how he's acting and all this? Couldn't this all do damage to Butler's reputation?
Well, I think somewhat, and obviously it'll be some guys, like you just said, people taking sides, but I think more for Jimmy Butler, he still has a chance to go play, and he can prove his worth. We know he's a fantastic player. The timing of everything is going on. That's what's the part that's damaging for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Their leverage is each day we have some more drama is going out the door when you start to negotiate. So I think for them that's the hard part. And then also you go back and look at the future, what they gave up for Jimmy Butler, that's going to play a big hand. And when you start looking at this entire situation down the line, what did they get back for Jimmy Butler and what did they gave up in both instances, you know, to the Chicago Bulls and whoever this new team would be. So right now is I think the good organizations, you have adversity, Jared. We've seen this before and you have guys have, but the good organizations resolve it quick, and I think that's what the Minnesota Timberwolves, they have to do. And I'm not saying they have to trade him quick, just take whatever. Just resolve to how you're going to handle this. Is he playing? Is he practicing?
Right.
Or is he going to let him stay at home? Or will he be with the team or not? They have to resolve it.
Right, because that's what people are looking at here, Glenn Taylor included. We gave up Chris Dunn, we gave up Zach LaVine. They got Laurie Market in the deal. But all of that will be factored into the package once Jimmy Butler is, if he is indeed traded. We come back, it's a battle of boroughs at MSG as the Knicks and Nets ramp up their preseason. Is there some positives heading into the new year for these Big Apple squads?